Morisonara, Monamin Sonara, yeah. Falimaye, Bimolura, Mana, Kuma, Gana Bulla, Kairaba. And the Kumala Monamin Soma. He's a young writer, young scholar from Gambia. Alalo doya na fade. Ade bukulu sabe Gambia Bankoka. Imaje Morison Pulo. From another Java cinema. Akonena moji, baba moji, ningele bona take. Kora no kumala boduma, jarama. From another Java cinema. Ali be kumala Morison ma wo. Bimula dona di Morison. Gambia kola no faka so fede. Jarama.
Jalia Barkabake, thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. It's my high honor and distinct privilege to give the vote of thanks, but I wouldn't do justice if I don't start by thanking my resource persons and sponsors. In our midst, I observed the presence of very important people who have been here with us since in the morning. The Bible says in Matthew 5 verse 8 that blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Lord. You are not all an exception to that. Can we clap for our MC, Miss Julde Jai, for the brilliant job she's done so far? The Holy Quran says in Surah Al-Hadid chapter 57 verse 10 that those who spend in charity shall be richly rewarded, and she is not an exception. Let's clap for ourselves. The Bible says in John chapter 6 verse 3 that that which is born of the flesh is the flesh, and anything that is born of the spirit is also the spirit. And ladies and gentlemen, let me commence by resource person. Let me thank the resource persons who've been here with us since the morning. Hierarchically speaking, sacrilegiously, I will start from the top down. I don't know how they are run in government, so permit me if I make any mistake, because I think the Honorable Minister, then we come down. In the presence of those that are here, I would like to begin with Honorable Michael Hamadi Seka. When I started writing at the age of 14, about 20 years ago, the first book I had wanted to launch, don't judge the book by its cover. My first book launch event failed. At the governor's office, I was around 16 years old. I didn't know how a book launch was done. Everything was done by Uncle Michael Hamadi Seka. He has known me for the past 20 years. There is not a single occasion where I invite him and he doesn't show up. Impossible. Uncle Michael Hamadi Seka is the reservoir of Gambian literature and publication. Please, a round of applause for him. And next to him is Madam Aissatou Ndao, Vice Principal, Gambia College. There is not a single thing we organize and Madam Ndao doesn't show up. She always comes to support. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 30 verse 31 that charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Then she shall be praised. Madam Ndao has explicitly contributed towards the socio-economic development of the Gambia, even gender. She has molded, empowered, guided, and mentored thousands of people who are successful today. And she was the chief judge of the Read Gambia Readathon competition held here on the 1st of December last year to prepare a Gambian candidate to represent the country in the Guinness Book of World Records Reading Marathon event. Ladies and gentlemen, next to Madam Ndao is our uncle, our father, who is being designated by the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. Dr. Adibatu Drame, she wrote to me personally that she could not come, but someone capable enough will represent her. And Honorable Sekou Sanyang is not only the regional director when it comes to education, but a mentor and a seasoned scholar. Let's appreciate him. Jali hani meto for ba mukana bi jaroli ko mama nka kumbo junale alsa pano kama in case I cry. So Jali don't say anything. Julden Jai is a sister and she's moderated the program even though we started late, and we would like to apologize on behalf of everybody. Now it's been very disappointing so far, so we intended to start by 3 p.m. sharp, but we started I think after 4, almost 5 due to light issues and stuff, so our sincere apologies registered. Those of my resource persons that have left, I don't have to mention them, but I will thank all of them. As I look around, I see Big Sam International. When I was elected chairperson of West Coast Region, NAPSA, National Patriotic Students Association, at the age of about 17, 20, Big Sam was somebody who groomed me to work at Brikama Community Radio Station as a youth presenter. So Big Sam International have known me for the past 30 years. I was school, raised, and grew up in Brikama. In fact, there is nowhere on earth where people know me more than Brikama. They know me more than any place, anyone in this world. So let's appreciate Big Sam International. And as I look around, I see my good brother and friend, who is a senior brother, Tuduja, from APRC. Dudu has been very instrumental since my time at Masrul Senior Secondary School as a university librarian and teacher, the school I graduated from. Before I graduated, I already got a job at the school. A key was handed to me to manage the school library. And I happen to know Duduja through Asia Tuso, one of my very good students and sister. Since then, Dudu has always supported me. Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, they say a sorrel comes out with its bitterness. Very true. My bitterness happened as a result of teachers who taught me. And this is one of them you are seeing in the person of Mr. Yusuf Aketa, who is the country director of International Trade Center, ITC. He taught me from grade 7 to 9 general science. I was one of the distinction students. I am happy to see my stepmom here. On Tabaski Day, Koriki Day, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, any occasion, I'll close myself in the house and read. Sometimes, my stepmom would force me to go out and take some fresh air or play with my mates. Because I work so hard to earn what I'm successfully enjoying today. I worked it yesterday. Everything I earn in the world, international awards, is not now. I did it when I was young. So, ladies and gentlemen, nothing is impossible for you. Mr. Yusuf Keta is so humble to a fault and so down to earth with unrepentant outspokenness. Mr. David Jeng is a colleague and a senior brother. Please appreciate David Jeng. Now, over to my family. Tanta Fatu is here. Fatso, can you stand up? Auntie Daba, are you around? Family members, Sokunda, Bakunda, Jalokunda, Sabalikunda. Jalokunda, my family is big. Dr. Fatu and my sister Fatso and everybody here, I want to thank you for contributing immensely towards my literary development, my career, my upbringing, my molding. It's been you people who have assisted me tremendously to be this successful African writer across the globe. My teachers never taught me how to summarize, but Mr. Keta did, so let's clap for him. He did. He did. Now, I can see from your happy smiles and eyes and claps that I need to summarize very quickly. Therefore, this occasion will not have been possible without the presence of the media. I don't want to name X and leave Z or Y, whatever. So right now, all the media houses, the personalities from the media fraternity, you are deservedly highly praised and appreciated. For this gesture, I am very grateful. The Hinduism book said in Bhagavad Gita chapter 29 verse 9 that I look upon all the creation of God the Almighty. I have seen none that are more dear than you, my dear audience. Thank you very much, the media. Now, over to my sponsors and partners. I start with Motherland Event Center, with the CEO, Neil Smithin, and his beautiful wife, Natasha, and their daughter, Chinaya, General Manager, GTS, and Motherland Event Center, Dudu MY Seka, Adama, everybody in the kitchen, the bar, the staff, members of staff of Motherland and GTS, thank you very much. Motherland is one of the most modern, well-structured event centers in the country, and they have been supporting young people. This is the third book launch event that is held here this year, and the CEO is very receptive, very helpful when it comes to empowering young people. Each and every young writer here, we want to help you to organize your book launches here with only 20,000. We will cover everything. All right, so come and launch your books here. All right, if you need funding to get 20,000, go to my teacher, Mr. Yusuf Keta, he will support. ITC, yep, International Trade Center. Now, apart from Motherland Event Center, I would like to thank Official Gambia Limited. Where Official goes, so Official has been supporting me for 5 consecutive good years. That's not now. I think they deserve a special thank you. Same thing goes to GRA, the Gambia Revenue Authority. 5 good years they have been supporting me, so it's very meaningful. I would also like to thank Banjul City Council, the Kanifing Municipal Council, Brikama Area Council, Chamano Money Transfer, Support Your Own Gambia Foundation. The list goes on. I don't want to make any mistake of forgetting anybody, but that's something very explicit that I must thank each and every one of you. In summary, I would like to say that those who have paid or reserved their seats for my book launch, please don't leave. See Usain Numbai, he's going to grab a copy, he's going to give you a copy of your books. Usain Numbai be in charge to give the books to those who have paid via wave and have reserved their seats before the event. Kombonga is in the building. I want to thank him for coming. Kombonga is my personal friend for over 5 years. I used to serve as his senior media communications officer who handled his management. And I did that for over 100 different artists in the country. Sometimes I write songs and sell them for money, and sometimes for free. But I'm not an artist, I don't sing. I'm a writer, I write lyrics. Therefore, let's celebrate Kombonga in the building. And I think Ibrahim Solo Fati is also here. You see here, Solo Fati is not around. Oh yes, Solo Fati is one of Gambia's youngest philanthropists who has been supporting everybody. When I met him and told him about the event, he said, I will support. Do we have Uncle Demba El Jamme here? Demba El Jamme, he left with Zena Musa Dabo, thanks to them. Ladies and gentlemen, my task is to thank everybody, so I should be very brief. When I drop this microphone, I would like you to kindly follow me. Everybody here has been provided for. Our buffet is getting cold. Let's go eat, have pictures, and we disperse, and we call it a day. I am overwhelmed and speechless with the amount of support, even though this is a very critical day. I happen to be born by a Gambian father and a Senegalese mother. And today is Senegal's independence, 4 Avril. So it's a very important day where most of our scholars and intellectuals have other functions to attend. And there are so many events happening around, so it's amazing to see you all pull out in large numbers to come and support me. Finally, if my brain is assimilating the truth, I don't want to forget anything. Let me apologize to the drama group. We invited the comedy group who have been here to, spice up things, to ginger up our morals. But they couldn't due to the fact that we've been time constrained. All right? So, in appreciation of your support and commendation and gratitude, the Gambia, our country, have earned the respect and the admiration in the world for its peace and hospitality due to the concern of people like you. Right now, Gambian literature needs support more than anything. We are in a very critical moment. I'm happy to see all of you all around because Gambian music yesterday, when you tune in the radio, you on your television, you see a musician singing 10 years ago, you switch off the TV, you insult them, you say nonsense, they ain't going nowhere. But the fact is today, They're employing people, buying cars, and buying houses from Gambian music. I don't compete with anybody. I'm not the best writer in the Gambia. I don't know anything. What I'm doing can be done by anybody. What I'm driving at is to see that Gambian literature is placed on the global map where when they mention Nigerian literature, they mention Gambian literature. That is my hard work. That is my aim. That is my zeal, enthusiasm, and determination to place the name of Gambian literature on the global spectrum. And that cannot be done without your support. If I can buy a car from writing, from selling books, it's encouraging. If I can marry a wife from writing, it's encouraging. It will give more young people the opportunity, the chance, and the courage to write. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for your kind attention, and I leave Julde to take you through the rest of the program. Thank you very much. Ajarama ala barka. Merci beaucoup.
Children will be ritual principle. Therefore, you will become women. And when you have children, you will teach them the language of your ancestors. And never, from the bottom to the boiler spring, those bottles carry more than milk, they carry forgetting. Let us go. In order for this fair and unmistakable, dependence on external frameworks, whether it's linguistic, epistemological, or economics, please cannot forget that no scholarship or international placement can conclude. So what is our responsibility? The turning point of the novel is not the aspect of the foreign officers. It is the moment when the community begins to operate in its own elation. When consent replaces resistance, when silence replaces memory, and when language becomes transactional. 11 chapters are devastating in their clarity. The death of friendship is not just the death of a character, it is the symbolic death of activity. And what follows is not immediate collapse, but gradual erosion. The school, the church, the leadership, the disappearance of oral traditions, until one day the money is all over the school. And the question becomes, what remains of the people where the Gambia language disappears? The answer in other pieces is change. Structures may remain, roads may be built, schools may flourish, but something essential, something invisible will be gone. Memory. And without memory, identity becomes an issue. So what is our responsibility as writers, educators, policymakers, national assembly members, and custodians of culture? We must invest in the translation of scientific, legal, and civic knowledge into our national languages. Not as a gesture, but as voice. We must place our languages at the center of early childhood education. Not as optional outcomes, but as foundations. We must create economic conditions in which speaking one's native language is not a disadvantage, but a source of dignity. Inventing modernity, but by negotiating it. Not by isolating ourselves, but by grounding ourselves. Not by choosing between languages, but by mastering both without allowing one to erase the other. Let me end with this. They are born, the book, is not about children, it is about responsibility. Each generation is born into a choice to inherit blindly or to inherit consciously. This novel urges us firmly unapologetically. Zina and Stammer and I will not have Stammer in Fuller. The choose the latter. The forest in there does not forget. The ancestors from there do not forget erasure. And the children of there started across the earth. As the open point reminds us, from Nigeria to Paris, from New York to Germany, up to Banjul, and still being born. Question is, what will we give them to speak? Because in fact, tells us in the forest, speaking to the very children the world wishes to take them, they are from their village. You carry what cannot be written. You carry what cannot be spoken. You carry your dignity in your language. That is the inheritance we must protect. It is therefore with utmost pleasure and privilege that I officially declare they are born by Modular Kenya of so officially launched. Assalamu alaikum. The majority focus is championing the comprehensive education sector reform here. legislative framework that will codify minimum national standards for school infrastructure, ensuring that every child, whether a particular person, lying in a safe condition environment, with access to clean drinking water, necessity and scientific education. Establish a plan career for progression pathway for teachers, educate the community of the teaching profession, and ensure that our educators are valued, supported, and compensated as nation builders we truly are. Mandate integration of foundational literacy and numeracy and the core priority of basic education with strictly assessment the track progression among all stakeholder accounting. Next crucial role of the place has was a crucial is the stakeholders like you is oversight. This is ensuring accountability in implementation. What good is a policy if not implemented? What value is a budget allocation if falls at the advantage of misuse or mismanagement? NASA assessment is consistently required to hold executives to account, and I want to make some commitment before you today that under this legislative caucus will use the full weight of its oversight authority to ensure that regards allocated to education delivers measurable outcome. Through the National Assessment of Education, ICT and Training, we conducted public hearing to bring together stakeholders, teachers, parents, civil service and of issues, the streamlined implementation of educational policies and programs that demand access. We also perform rigorous tracking to ensure funds intended for textbooks, teaching material, and school infrastructure reaches the intended destination. Moreover, we demand regular reports of literacy assessment, teacher requirement, and school construction projects with clear timeline and consistency towards performance. Secondly, oversight is not constraining. It is partnership and mechanism by which we ensure that our collective investment yield return to our children in design. Now, the next one is gathering every member of the Assembly represent the constituency. We are here to tell the stories that we know the more endure abilities who watches our daughter 5 kilometers to school because of their schools is dilapidated. We know that the previous student who didn't know how because of family could not offer the testing, and the dedicated teacher who uses his own money or salary to buy books, job, and sell books to students. It is gratifying to know that we legislate and oversee these voices in our years. It is our duty to ensure that education policy is not just crafted in the comfort of Nigeria alone, but reflect the realities of every region in Ghana. This is why we are championing modern language education. The evidence is overwhelming as children learn to read less when they first build a foundation in the language they understand. We envisage this in the Gambia where children in 40 learn and read with joy, whereas a child in the region whose foundational literacy in Fula and Africa, where a child in learn and Spasanda begins with word and transition seamlessly to English. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so for your audience. We are giving you our precious time. First and foremost, I want to congratulate Mudlari and to congratulate each and every one of you in your work. We are hopeful. We are hopeful. Mudlari said that I understand is it they are born as the professional chairman that already said he used a lot of metaphors here, and I'm happy to be here because I've learned a lot. But one thing that stands out is we need to be using our mother's language. That is very, very important. So, and congratulations also to the Minister of Basic Education. This was something that I always remember. Using the mother language was very, very powerful. Not only powerful, but it's transparent. Because as politicians, we have at least 40% of people that are voting for us have to be original. So that means they are just blindly voting. They don't read our manifestos. They don't understand what we are telling them. So for thank God that we have a woman of substance, a very powerful woman, who understands the mother's tongue, the importance of the mother's tongue. So on that note, I have a statement. I am so honored to be the one of guidance. And I first and foremost want to say, we have Uncle Vijay here, and we have Uncle Billy here. You know, people from where are my uncles, even though I'm a typical director. So, this is, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed elders and leaders of our great nation, young people of the Gambia, the heartbeat of our nation, and most especially to modern our young author, the man of the hour. The one who has proven that age is never a barrier to greatness. What do you do to our Assalamu alaikum? It is my global honor and big joy to stand before you today as the order of this conference. The title I do not carry lightly, but one I embrace with all my heart. Because the young ones are my children, and you're also my purpose, you are my ladies. I don't want today is not to be for speeches, it's a day for celebration. And I think modernity has done something that each and every one of you also can do. We have opened a new page for us. And when I say us, I mean us alone. So we should at least try to be like him. But if you listen to Dr. Biden, all what he was trying to tell us is, if you want to be there, you have to start back. And if you want to do something, you need to do something. So reading, and one of the speakers here said out of there, respect is the first thing that you should have. Concentrate on your book. Read. Read not only more than this book. Read other books as well. You have seen the first paper, how the young people have demonstrated that they are the future of this country. And this is why I say we are hopeful. And when Morgan said they are born, he's not saying you or me. He is trying to say that the new Gambia, there is hope. So you have to look at it with the lessons. He's talking, he's telling us, he's speaking in metaphors. So you need to understand exactly what he's trying to, the message that he's trying to relay to us. And you don't have to be shy. Speak to each other. Agree with each other in your mother's language. You have had the professor. We call people from China, Japan, North Korea, South Korea, the most powerful countries in the world. They are using their mother tongue. But in Gambia, we have a problem. If you don't say you know where, you are nowhere. Yes, this is the truth. And when the Minister of Basic Education is saying, make in your mouth stop, he sees, he understands what he's saying. He's trying to copy and paste from countries like Tanzania, from countries like Kenya. Because, my dear brothers, let nobody fool you. What you can understand is the Constitution is translated in English, in fuller, Mandinka, words, when you are within it, trust me, it's not only, you are not only holding politicians to be transparent, you are not just telling them be transparent, but you are really be confident for people to understand that you know what you want. So let me lack us in lack of being. No matter the job, no matter the fees. Why Gambia, the world level and the name. So let us school up. Come take it over this human African research. Now, what Mama say? What Mama say? No, why don't you listen to this 400? See, self-revelation. Everyone, hey, what does it mean? Look at the other. What does it mean? Why put them Arab? A PhD in Arab. Who that? This people out there. You bring them knowledge and complex. If you are the Chinese, after PhD, so I am going to there are also kinds of the pilot. You don't get to buy you. You have to French level, Arab. You have to you may have a it's a pilot. Because of that, we put it from Ghana. We put it and the name. That's why I question before I was doing. When you see so the football, what I get penalty. So I need some mindset. The fucking people to do. Now another angle. We like to put a young people into the mouth. How do you do? You support me. You know now. How about two material? Speaking the language, you will hear. Why to be software and speak to them in some. Let us be fuller and speak to them in fuller. Let us be open, we speak to them in word. Let us be mandinka, we speak to them in mandinka. So who is speaking in English? None of the other. Who cares whether we speak other or not? Who cares to say different? You should not say this more. Who cares about that? You know that there's a whole lot of other all of the Facebook like that. So when we are from me, we start to that is more strong. That means we are coming and confident. This is the whole world. The way you know so was fun. That's what I was saying. No, who are the forces? Therefore, when you sit in the bed, my mind I'm telling you messages to me from what experience my life. You might have been there, how do you know? Think of where and see this now and my soul because those people they feel. So we are on the eyes and they are if no, why you don't have to do nothing. Well, nothing like it today. Yeah, okay, so that's it. Maybe we will not everything. So, very well. He's getting the 1 hour. So, now we're going to start it. How do you read there? This somebody here, nothing.
Representing the Honorable Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. She is not here with us in person due to her tight schedule throughout the week. She wanted to come person and be with us because this event is really dear to her heart. So she has asked me to come and give a statement from her here. I don't know if I will be able to do that, but I will try. This is yes, it's us scholars, educators, students, education stakeholders. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, I am deeply honored to stand or sit before you today at this regular gathering dedicated to National Book Launch and Conference on Education and Literature. I extend my warmest greetings and heartfelt appreciation to the organizers of the event, the Gambia Foundation, and to all who have contributed to making this day possible. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education remains steadfast in its commitment to advancing literacy, creativity, ensuring inclusive access to quality education. Literature is not only a mirror of our society, but also a powerful tool for seeing minds, nurturing imagination, and inspiring progress. The Honorable Minister recognizes the vital role that books and conferences such as this one plays in enriching our educational landscape and strengthening our cultural identity. I believe the connection between literary, cultural, and national outcomes. The Ministry affirms that education policy must move beyond access and infrastructure to nurture the intellectual and cultural fabric of our society. We believe literary culture rooted in reading, writing, and creative expression provides the lens through which learners can be critical with their work. When policy leadership prioritizes literacy, it ensures the students are not only equipped with functional skills, but also empowered to contribute to civic life, innovation, and cultural preservation. The alignment between policy and culture strengthens national outcomes by provision citizens who are thoughtful, articulate, and capable of driving development. Therefore, the Ministry's leadership in position literacy at the heart of education reform strand deliberately harness efforts to connect literary culture with policy outcomes to reflect a forward-looking vision that recognizes education as both a social and cultural enterprise in fostering literacy programs in schools, integrating technology to expand access, and engaging communities in shared responsibility of nurturing a reading culture. In this spirit, I wish to see that the Gambian curriculum reform is moving forward, embedding Gambian library law, literary law rather, and into education as a way to preserve culture, improve literacy, and empower local writers. The success of this reform may depend largely on policy support, teacher training, and striking balance between a local and global text. Today's school life is more than an unveiling of a communication. It is opening of new doors for learners, teachers, and communities. The event marks official launch of the Oxford novel titled They Are Born, a work that reflects the transformative power of education and empowering. But the event marks the official launch of Oxford concept already, both carrying wisdom of generation that brings for us an estimation of nations. This particular work will not undoubtedly contribute to the growth of knowledge, the promotion of literacy, and the empowering of leaders across our country and beyond. Additionally, this conference on education and literature bringing on conversations challenges confronting the education sector, provides a platform for dialogue, reflection, collaboration that will give pathways for educational reform. It reminds us education is not only confined in classrooms. It thrives in conversations, in reading more, and the exchange of ideas across generations. By bringing together individuals, writers, policymakers, and students, we strengthen the bond that unites us both in pursuit of knowledge and national development. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this book and conversations it inspires, let us reform our collective commitment to championing education and literature as a pillar of national progress. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, I wish this conference a great success and commend all participants for their dedication in advancing learning and culture. May this gathering inspire us to continue building the people where education and literature illuminate the path of growth and prosperity.